McFly, you had an interesting topic that you posted up about Vlad.
Yeah, so so here's my thing, right? Maybe not a popular take. I hope it ain't popular. Like, so Vlad, right? I don't know if y'all know who this is. Y'all know of him.
Yeah.
I'm just like, who the fuck is he?
He's a DJ.
But like, why? But why does he? he's a DJ. Yes.
DJ, that's who he is.
But like, why? Like, if you look on like, why does he have the keys to like hip hop in a sense? Like, why is he a source for anything?
Well, he's owned by Complex.
Is he really?
I mean, I don't know. Is that? I thought he left Complex.
Complex got a big part in his joint. Complex is hip hop.
But like,
Complex
why?
has, like on his channel?
Yeah, no, Complex. I believe Complex bought him out. That's what the rumor was.
I could have swore his channel was all him.
I would see like if he that like I would have seen Vlad. I think Vlad would have been on Complex or something if they brought him out.
Stay tuned, Complex. Stay tuned for Complex and stay tuned to Complex for new DJ Vlad content daily.
So it appears that he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess my beef, and this is funny. I got a picture from when he got beat up by Rick Ross's crew after they outed him for being a CO, which I think is kind of funny.
For being outed by 50.
Right.
50 beat up.
No, he beat up DJ Vlad. But like, I'm just wondering, like,
I'm off for that.
Well, for him getting beat up, just in general,
I'll allow it.
I ain't fair. I ain't care about that either way. My whole thing is, I just feel like where are the gatekeepers in hip hop? Like, can you point to any other industry? In my opinion, I say country. All right, let's say country. I'll listen to the shit, but like, is the biggest interviewer in country black? Probably not.
No.
Probably somebody who's about the culture, who grew up in the culture.
But hip hop has always been controlled by white people.
And this is the problem.
I wouldn't say always.
Not always.
No,
I mean, in terms of like the labels, we all know that music is controlled by four labels.
Specifically, i.e. Jewish hip hop, like Leor, all of them is always, and that's in music, period, though. That's in music.
I get that, but I guess my whole point is
what they do, what they always said, and this is just, what they're doing. It's like they're always, because they've been oppressed and we've been oppressed, they go with that, and then they get the back.
Well, we were talking about that, Reek. We were talking about that with like, we noticed the same thing with like all the popular basketball content, right? You sit back and you look at it, it's like, damn, all these major media companies are white or Asian. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's, I don't know, it just feels like our people, we just don't really recognize. We'd rather take that short check, that fame, instead of actually putting in the work and getting into ownership.
You take the fame over the fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's my problem.
Because he show his face in his interviews.
No. And of course you wouldn't, because who's this white dude? No offense, but you would be like, yo, who are you? I've always seen DJ Vlad's content and never really knew who he was. And so I digged into it. I'm like, why are these people put in the front of hip hop as like the controllers of content? Why do they get the interviews? Like, why don't y'all?
It's hard, man. It's hard. Like, people, we don't want to do nothing that's hard. You got to buy a camera.
I don't think it's that simple. I don't think people don't want to work. I just don't think people think about, why am I letting Vlad make this bread off of us? And like, why isn't 50? Well, 50 I guess has this is 50, but like, why isn't the moguls in this shit? Why are they like, yo? Why are we going to Vlad and letting Complex tell us what we should be looking at? What's hot? Like, this content y'all don't produce, y'all don't make, y'all don't understand, y'all don't live. And I just feel like I'm tired of people that aren't really from the culture, culturally appropriating the whole shit, making an empire off of it, and being an authority in the game. Like, why are they?
Well, speaking on America, that's what America is based off. It's based off our labor, and they get rich off it. I was going to
say, I agree with G in the sense of the fact that you got a lot of people who don't even think of doing those type of things.
Right.
So when you have, like, Vlad ain't doing nothing special besides he was a DJ. And he said, well, let me get a camera and do the same thing that Smack DVD was doing, Sub-Zero, Come Up DVDs, and he just kept going with it. He didn't stop. Like one thing that I will say that we do in the culture a lot, and you see with different music, is we'll leave something and then get upset when white people pick it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we'll leave it like R&B. Bruno Mars, he's culture appropriating.
No,
but he's like, nobody's been doing that music since Mike. Like nobody said we had to stop. Right. Nobody said we had to stop doing that. And then you get mad when he goes and takes it.
And that's the thing, right? So I will go even bigger. We always let uncool people dictate to us what's cool.
Right. And I think that's what McFly is saying with like Complex or like who are these guys?
Yeah, but I'll go deeper, right? So let's just use Mobb Deep, right? We're gonna use Mobb Deep and Nori, right? Both of them are legendary guys, and they're like, man, nobody trying to hear that no more. Yeah, because they're not putting the money behind it. So now they're gonna try to switch their music to try to keep up with whoever they got to keep up with, and then they eventually deplete themselves and they become who they are now in some cases, right? And the person who's telling them that nobody wants to hear it is that person who's not from the culture. Tell them they don't want to hear, opposed to you just catering to your fan base and making sure that you just do this for your people. You're trying to impress more of the people that don't want to hear your music. So what, like McFly is saying, we let somebody from the culture dictate to us, which isn't cool, but it's on a bigger level. We should be more aware, like, man, you don't know what I live. You don't know what I live. You don't know this experience, and you can't tell me. It's just like even with, analytical basketball. We let nerds tell us how we should play basketball. It's the same concept. You let people who don't do tell you how to do it. Like they can't rap. You can't tell me how to rap and you can't rap.
I think it's that kind of recollection and that kind of realization we got to come to as in the culture and just be like, yo, like, nah, like, Vlad, get the fuck out of here. And not just him. There's plenty of others. Like, just get the fuck out of here. Like, you want to be a part of this? Cool. You can be a part of it under somebody who understands it and let them tell you what to do. Right. But why do you have this voice and this power? And I just was looking like, look at his interviews. He gets everybody. He doesn't miss on anybody. And I'm just like, if you are sitting down with this dude and you in the culture, right? Aren't you wondering, why the fuck am I talking to you? Especially with the tools at your disposal now, why do you have to talk to him? You literally don't. You have your own platforms. You can do your own shit. You don't have to talk to DJ fucking Vlad about anything.
Or Adam 22 now.
What?
Right, Adam 22. Yep, there's another one.
There's and they're popping up because they're just like, well, we can do it because you said a good thing, like, no one wants to go get their camera. Man, fuck that. I got a camera. Like, I'm not even.
No, it's people that do it. Like, I follow Forbes DVD. That's black owned. See, y'all laugh. See?
But I respect it though.
Here's the other thing though. See, we not stupid. We ain't no fools either. Yeah. So I would like whoever.
You can't master P us. You go do some shit. Right. You gotta do it with some quality.
Right. You're not gonna sit there and tell me like if like I'll be honest. If Choke No Joke doesn't interview with somebody, if Vlad interviews the same person, I'm watching Vlad.
Because I would say that that's another good point. It's the quality, because when this is 50 was really putting out good content, it was good because they were doing it in the sense
they were doing the same thing.
But it's literally just staying consistent with that good content. And a lot of the dudes you like for his DVD, they pop up with a good interview and then
nobody wants to hear Doggy Diamonds.
Yeah. No. It's the other dude now.
I think it's
who?
MREC.
Yeah, exactly. Because MREC says so. Like, you think I'm watching that shit?
It's a combination. I think we gotta support, but also critique, and like support but critique, watch but critique.
Most importantly, Vlad doesn't ask biased questions. those dudes be kind of biased.
And here's the other thing.
But could he ask biased questions though? I mean, he know he there on borrowed time. He kind of got to kiss ass. Like, what else he gonna do?
Vel, you can't act like 4 DVD doesn't look like it's still 2003.
Yeah. Yes. No. And I was saying all that. I agree with all of that. But it's also, if you're an interviewer, you're not supposed to be biased. You're like,
that's false. Everybody got their own bias. I don't believe that.
I don't know. I think I got a little different take though, because so I look at all this stuff like this is nerd stuff. Like nerd stuff ain't cool. Like it's cool being in front of the camera, but to make all this stuff work is nerd stuff. Like podcasts been out forever. Been out for like damn near 15, 20 years.
Yes.
You just start seeing black people in the last couple years, right? This is stuff that just wasn't cool to us, and we typically don't do stuff that don't appeal to the people that are around us. And this is the type of stuff that these other people get into, which is why you see them dominating it. And that's part of the problem, right? Like,
or better yet, STEM.
But it's not even, we don't even got to take it that far. It's just nerd stuff to learn audio. It's nerd stuff to learn lighting.
I tell you right now, it's nerdy as fuck. I'm sitting there learning video editing and fucking Photoshop and marketing and SEO and shit.
Imagine you a dude from the block and then now you got to put together an interview show. Like, it's going to look
right.
Or CPD.
Right.
So that's why I think you got to support but critique. Be like, yo, I love what y'all trying to do. I'm going to support because I want my people to do it, but also get a real camera, my guy, or like, you know what I mean? Like have maybe these guests on. Like I think that should be the collaborative effort because obviously people stuck through shittier quality with these dudes. Like go back to some people's videos 10 years ago. They were trash, but they got watched. I think because their base was like, yo, we going to support you because we want to get your numbers up. And I think that's what, like, I mean, I want to see us do more. I mean, shit, we doing it right now. We doing a fucking podcast. Like, keep content that people want to actually fucking see that's not from random people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, and the thing is, like, if we do it correctly, it can be done. Because I think, like, one of the more popular podcasts coming up now, like Math Hoffa has a really popular podcast right now. Like Eminem, you know, and all the, like, a lot of famous people watch his podcast, but a lot of it is the quality and the structure and like he's just using our culture in a proper way, you know, and shedding light on it. Or look at Gilly's podcast, which has got really popular. You know what I mean?
Hey, yo, fuck Gilly.
Whoa.
yo, no, on some real shit though. Nah, fuck him. That whole Black Lives Matter bullshit he pulled off. Nah, nigga. Did my life matter when they came for me?
That was years ago.
I don't care.
Rapper in Philly.
You said what?
King of Philly, man. KOP.
What happened?
Nah.
Ain't the best rapper in Philly? Nah. Okay, my bad.
The King of Philly.
Better than Cat.
King of Philly, man. King Gilly.
Whatever. That take was awful. It's an awful ass take. But anyway, yes, podcast is doing all right. Whatever, fuck him.
No, I just feel, and even that, I just feel, I don't think we should technically bash people from our culture publicly a lot.
Depends what they did.
Yeah, but generally.
Like R. Kelly, nah, F that nigga. like there's some dudes that just like, nah, he done. He's done. Tory Lanez, he done. He's done. Like there's some guys that just like, nah, fuck out of here.
I'm saying in the sense of like in the new world, in this cancel culture, I'm using air quotes or whatever. But that cancel thing, we so quick to turn our back on people just because we don't like what they did, opposed to just even with the other cultures, they like it's people that don't like Trump. A lot. There's millions of people that don't like Trump.
They won't publicly say it.
Huh?
But they won't publicly say it.
Like
that's fair.
It's people in his own party that won't like him, that don't like him in his own party that don't like him.
I'm sure most of his party doesn't like him, but they just like, that's our guy. Like, that's our guy. He's the greatest president. As soon as he loses, that dude is crazy as shit. But until he loses, I'm gonna say that.
I lived in a city that was like 98% white. right, in Oswego when I lived there.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was one of those. But
I know. I went to Alfred. I know how that. Ooh.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Picture one. Alfred is small though. You only got GJs.
Oh yeah, it's small.
Like 18 GJs. But when I was there, you would hear the people like, "Oh, I don't like Trump, but I do." You get the butt. They get the butt. The reason with us is, "Oh, I don't like them." Just like when people were done with OJ, and then you like, well,
the Juice Man.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say Tyler Perry to me is one of those dudes. Like I used to like look at Tyler and be like, dude, it's just so.
I won't. Dog. I might not like it, but it's not for me. It's just.
But like, no, I changed my tune though. I was like, you know what? You need Tyler Perry's for the culture. Like the dude makes money, people like his stuff, and you don't watch a Madea movie once or twice and found a line or two funny. So all right, whatever. But like he's good for the culture and he puts on other people.
The Wayans brothers, they hated him. Yo, you make because they used to make satires out of all the serious movies.
Right.
Don't be you're gonna make that about Boys in the Hood. Well, it's funny.
Because it's funny.
It's really funny.
But again, they're good for the culture.
But yeah, look at what they did. The best family in entertainment after the Jacksons, probably.
I would say even before. I would say even maybe
it's Mike Jackson.
I mean, but like off the strength of Mike Jackson alone, I guess. Yeah. But like the rest of them suck. As a whole family doing it, no, it ain't even close. But as like just the biggest of the stars, I mean, Michael Jackson was the biggest star maybe ever.
No,
like maybe ever.
Yeah. Yo, that team is Michael Jackson is Michael Jordan on that team.
Yes, 100%.
Michael Jordan and Scotty.
And Scotty, right? He the whole team.
But what they did was, they're making fun of like this, like Brothers Tom and stuff like that. That got shunned. Spike Lee didn't like it. Oh, Spike Lee
because they made fun of him.
Yeah,
they did.
That's what I'm saying. Like
message.
Sometimes we take ourselves so serious, like we can't laugh at. It's joy and pain. You're supposed to be able to laugh at stuff too. Like everything about our life don't have to be pain.
Well, you know what though? It's scary though because I think those people look at it and say, if you joke too much, you make the struggle look funny. It almost eases up the pressure that maybe is on the others. If you make it seem like, oh man, police brutality is kind of funny, then it's like, oh well, it ain't that bad. Like people that think, or the slaves used to sing. They weren't that upset. They sung.
So
like it's almost like you better look sad all the time, or they gonna think, "Oh, it ain't that bad." I mean, I get their thought process, but you're right though.
But how about we stop giving them power? Just like, man, I hate this statement. Oh man, them people look at us and laugh. Who cares what they think anyway? You giving them power because you're dictating how you want to live because of what somebody else says.
I don't care how they think. I care how they act. And if they think it ain't that bad, they won't act to do something. If they don't think it's serious, but they still treat it serious, that's one thing. But if they laugh at us and then they don't care that we get murdered, that's beyond the scope of just thinking something.
So us being serious in the last 100 years got us how far?
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily.
I'm not saying you per se. I'm just saying.
I got you.
So it's just that people changed and the world changed. It wasn't that, they stopped, because you got to think, the higher we got entertainment, the higher we became their entertainment, the more things we got along with that, and we got less things being their entertainment too. So it just comes with the territory. Sometimes and like honestly, we set the tone for the earth. We're not being funny, but historically it looked like, I'm not minimalizing, but we the leaders of the earth. We the most gifted. So we just do everything and everything looks fine. Like look at i.e. baseball. Baseball is dying without the black aspect to the game. It's dying, and it was the best sport in the world when we was part of it, and then we left it, and then now it's dying. So that's just part of our gift too. Like with basketball and music, we create genres, leave them and give them away, and we just create another one.
Rock and roll just gave it away.
Forget rock and roll. Type in jazz.
That's true too. That is true. We definitely gave away jazz.
Yeah, jazz, the rock and roll, the hip hop, to to whatever else thing to trap.
Fighting for hip hop, but man, if another Machine Gun Kelly.
Well, they never last. So I will say that they never last.
What are you talking about? Yellow Wolf was great.
No.
Yo, Reek, I've never threatened to kick you out before, but this may be the day. This may be the day.
No.
Yellow Wolf.
No, he's not.
You don't like Russ? You don't like Russ?
Oh,
Russ
God.
is black, man. Come on, Steve. Steve, stop that, man.
Wait, Russ is black?
No, my bad. He's not black. It's the other guy.
I want to say Russ got the lightest tan ever.
My bad. Logic.
Yeah,
is black.
Logic is mixed.
Logic is mixed.
Logic. Funny. People love J. Cole. Logic raps the same as J. Cole.
Yeah.
They both put you to sleep.
Sleep.
I don't listen to neither. Not anymore.
Makes you great nap music.
Yeah, man. I'm too tired already.
You throw that.
I'm too tired already.
Like, nah. So, but it's funny that, G had like a great point when he's talking about the work behind the scenes. It's just that sometimes I just realize people don't realize that the people behind the scenes get the real money anyway. Always.
Yes, it's interesting though that, and I know McFly hates Gilly, but on this podcast today, his cousin Wallow was saying that a lot of people, especially with us, like he said, we always want the clout or the fame. And he said, because he said he was talking to one of his friends, and he was with some of his other friends. He was talking about starting a podcast or whatever. And he said, well, it's like, you got everything you need to start a podcast right here. It's like you and 3 other people. He's like, somebody could do a camera, somebody can start working on audio, somebody can start doing this. He said, but the problem is all you guys want to be the guy. You know what I mean? All you guys want to be in front of the camera. All you guys want to be this type of person or that type of person. And then, like G was saying, the stuff we aren't interested in that's been out forever, we fall behind in and we don't really take seriously or get into till it's late, and then it's already dominated by other people.
That's a fact. I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of work that goes into being that shit.
We just kind of just be late to the party, or matter of fact, what we dictate is cool, just not cool, like G was saying. Like, even now, like I'm 30 plus years old, and I'm just now starting to think about stocks when I should have been thinking about stocks. If I, like, not being funny, I could have been one of the first investors in Facebook. Like, I remember, like, man, I should do that, but I'm like, man, $100, but I'm buying sneakers every week. If I would have just put that $500-600 into Facebook, I would have had pretty good amount of money when it first dropped, when I was in college. Like little things like that, or Amazon and all these things that I used, or Apple, or when Apple went public, I remember I was like, man, that iPod is cool. I'm like, man, and it just didn't register. I just wasn't focused on it.
But I think that's not unique to us.
No,
but I think the difference is it's
period.
Right. It's not, but it's people make those mistakes all the time. I think the difference is when you want to compare the Black experience to the other experience is any kind of fallback in terms of family money, family education, like somebody that knows already who's done it because they've been given the opportunities to know about it. Like, there's more to it than just, we didn't. Everybody thought about having bought an Apple before, bought Amazon before. That's a huge one. If you'd have bought a share of it, what you be worth right now, like shit like that.
By the way, not to cut y'all off, Apple stock just split into 4. They're real cheap. You should get it if you got the brand.
Yes, I was seeing that, and I will be buying some. Thank you for reminding me.
I got me a couple today. Get it? They're going up. They're going back up.
Right. So there's exactly the point right there.
G stocks, not Vlad stocks. G stocks, not Vlad stocks.
G, let me hold some money. Can you wire me a couple hundred so I can get a couple?
Yeah. Just wait. Sit right there and wait on it.
You're not sticking together as a culture. No.
You're going around everybody like, help the culture. Let me hold something.
Don't get me started. That's the other problem. You got a bunch of handout niggas. That's another one.
You got that do-rag on.
He's feeling it, right? He on it right now. That's a handout, niggas. Oh, man.
Yeah, Apple went from 400 till they're about like 120
$29.30 right now.
Yeah. Oh, they went up. Yes, I'm doing good. I'm glad they're going up. But
it went up 4%. It went up 3% already.
I'm about to hop on that tonight.
Yeah, it's 129, 129.30.
That's going down. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right, we gonna hit that to hear you thing. We'll hit that next week.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see how Joe responds to that.
Positive culture. Everybody, if you're listening, go buy some Apple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, go buy some apple stock. 100%.
And get some real apples too. Apple a day.
Is that your advice?
That's that first DVD comment right there.
That's our new segment, Reek's advice.
Reek's advice. You need to eat more apples. More fruits and veggies. All right.
Yeah. Gotta get more fruits.
Oh my goodness.
Not apple drink.
That shit is the worst.
Serial killers do that.
Don't drink purple.
Right. Don't drink purple. Apple drink is green. That's not the drink you want.
You're nuts.
For those of you drunks, apple juice looks like Corona.
It does actually. That's a good point.